YouTube Nation, and welcome back for yet another vintage kind of toy review. Today we are looking at Transformers, the 40th anniversary, 1984 to 2024. More than meets the eye. We're looking at the man himself, or I guess the robot himself, Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots, the icon of the 1980s. There really isn't much you can say about this guy other than he's other than like Hulk Hogan, Optimus Prime, He-Man. There's only a few that go on the Mount Rushmore of characters from our childhood, or at least mine if you're in your 30s and 40s. Now, this is a G1 reissue. Looks like the box has had just a little bit of updates to it. This is the 40th anniversary, as you could see right there. More than meets the eyes. This is an 8-year-old toy. This thing is child's play compared to what you have to transform today. Autobot Commander Optimus Prime from Hasbro has that cool box art, which looks cool. Side of it has that same truck and robot form. The top of it does have the instructions kind of onto it of how you would transform said Optimus Prime. And then when we flip her all around like that, it's got that fantastic G1 box art just coming in hot. You've got Sunstreaker, you got Prowl, you got a Soundwave, you've got Starscream transforming in. Ravage, which I always thought was a weird kind of concept of him coming out of this with Laserbeak back there in the back. And then you've got that guy right there, which I think I was today years old when I realized I think that's supposed to be Trailbreaker. Doesn't look a thing like Trailbreaker. Does look like Bumblebee. Trailbreaker does have a car up here, and I believe that is Skids that's up there in the corner. Then we got Hound. So the back of the box has always been a mystery to me. Got some guys flying here. Also don't know how much of this is ad-libbed or redone just for newer stakes versus the older stakes, but I've always thought Megatron down in the corner. Starscream is always kind of in the forefront right there, and then there's good old Megatron down in the corner. So what we've got for this, it's a world of constant change where things are not what they seem. It is the world of Transformers, a world of heroic Autobots and evil Decepticons. Got us a tech spec coming in right there. Functional Commander. Freedom is the right of all Sentinel beings. Optimus Prime is the largest, but is he? Strongest and wisest of Autobots, fills his role in the protection of life, including Earthlings, which is kind of cool. For me, he's a childhood just person that I don't remember a time without Optimus Prime, to be quite honest with you. So it's a nostalgia one for me. I'm going to leave it rolling while we crack this open. I do want to see here if we can get a little bit of it. Just give me a finger or something. I don't care about folks. Bam, just like the old days. Just ripping it open. I want to see what's in here and kind of show you. So I didn't think styrofoam would be in here because that's what was in the G1. But when we pull it out and empty the box container there, so we do have this plastic packaging. We do have some plastic ties. Those look to be pretty cuttable, not like the wired ones. We've got a roller, that infamous gun. We've got some stuff on spurs right there. It looks like we got some hands and some color differences and everything else. We did get this little red book. I'm assuming this is an instruction manual right there for Optimus Commander Prime right there. Interesting little tidbit of how to transform him and everything else. We'll go through it slow. Most everybody who's watching this has figured out how to transform this and probably owns some sort of this G1 toy, if not the G1 toy, in their arsenal already. And then there's the trailer transformation with roller and the pipes and everything else. So this is supposed to have some differences. I don't know exactly what the differences are, but we are going to find out right now. As I have lost my scissors, so we're going to cut right here. I'm going to have this cut. This is going to be out of the box, and it's going to take me 10 minutes, but it's going to be right now for you all. All right, so out of the package, we've got a trailer, we've got a tractor, we've got a roller, we've got a gun, we've got two things. So let's look at the spurs and their sprues first. plastic bits that were really hard for Optimus Prime to keep. Now, these, if I do believe from my days, this was a black rubber hose. This one is very gray. I don't know if that's picking up very well, but it was gray at one point. These were blue painted chrome, I believe, and these, I think, were blue painted chrome. So essentially everything underneath it was that bluish that he had and then chromed over top of it. These are expensive as all get out on a G1. I am glad that they recolored them, so you know this is a kind of a repro or just a newer version of it. But it is nice to throw in these gas tanks, the oil can, and this little gun. I've never really known what this was. Educate me down below, because I'm not going to look it up. And then the missiles that will show where those go soon. Optimus Prime's gun is 100% just awesome. It looks quite authentic to what it looked like in the cartoons, definitely in the comic books. Doesn't get to hold it very well, which you're going to see here shortly. Roller, he rolls. It's cool. Had this little guy, always wanted to put some figures inside of him. Never did get Spike or Dad or anybody. Right? It would be cool to put some figures in there. I'm sure somewhere out there there's third-party things to do so. Don't remember Roller being silver. I do believe my Roller was blue as well, and I do think there was even a black one, maybe. I may be making that up, but at least I thought I've owned several Rollers before. But I do like the silver. It looks very roverish, like Mars roverish kind of a thing, which is pretty cool. I do dig that. Does come with the fists, have short little niblets on it, so you know they're not that, and they're a different color blue. So those will be over there. And then let's look at Prime first, and then we'll go into the trailer. So this is supposed to be cartoon accurate. Did I get any stickers? No stickers? I'm not so sure if there's, because there's, I wonder if they're in here maybe. No? All right, well, I was kind of thinking that there would be some Autobot logos to put on, but I don't seem to have a sheet, so oh well. Let's look at this. So a lot of this back in the day was metallic and die cast, which a lot of this is not. I do already love this cartoon accurate color scheme and the cartoon accurate bumper. Not going to go into oh, there's an Autobot symbol there. So I guess there is no, all right, so I was looking at the wrong one. So back in the day, there were stickers that you threw all over this thing. And I always hated stickers. Like when I built models, it was fun to do this stickers because you kind of, or the decals, you kind of knew you were done. But I always hated putting them on toys. Am noticing during this transformation part, the toes, they are metal and they do fold out. Do have a cool thing there where stickers once were. The bumper is really sticking out to me, which is cool. To transform him, you just pull him out as such. This is a very nice and easy transformation. So it looks like all the stickered items have been painted on, which is really cool. So let's look at that head sculpt. Head sculpt is, I think, is identical. I love the gray. I love the light blue. I love all the details that are in it. I love that. To put his hands in it, for anybody who doesn't know, they just nicely went into the headlights there, and you put it in as such. And then, you know, to have a little gun, he would just go just like that, and that's how it would go. Now, most of the time, it would have to go as such like this, if you see in the picture over here, because this was either too short or too big to go into the hand, and it wouldn't really rest like that. So that is a nice touch. I've never owned a Prime to where it's went in, at least a G1 Prime, to where that's went in on a nice fashion like that. So that's really cool. Paint scheme is awesome on that. Let's take a look at the trailer. Let's see here. So to do this, you just fold down the tailgate, and it's just clips. It clips in, clips out. All right, so a ton of stickers missing in here. This was like a whole robot fortress that would stand up. A lot of times when I played with it as a kid, this stood up and was more of a base than anything as such. I have also seen it out here. It does have landing gear for the 18-wheeler on the bottom, which is pretty cool. And then, so let's get Prime out of the way. Back this up so you all can see it just a smidgen better there. Maybe like that. There we go. So he would, or this would pop up. It does have this very articulated claw for back in the time. back in the day, would move all over. It does open, which is very nice. And it just would go around. Now you could tell it was always a Diaclone because this would open, this would open, this would open. There we go. And little guys would fit in there for what the Diaclones were. So the satellite dish would pop up, and then on the back of it there, you would have a little spinny thing to make the radar dish turn. And then one of the cool features is that the gas tank would kind of go over here, and you could push it in there. It would also go here, here, or over there. And you could tell this was an absolute just banger of a battle station, because it had, for the Diaclone figures, little spots and stuff for the figures to go. And then let's see if this is spring loaded. I can't imagine it's not, but all right, there we go. So to load it, you put roller in just as such. Let's see, sit him down here, and then there's a tab that's right here. You can kind of see in the frame there, and he shoots and he goes. That thing shoots very smooth, and it's not as loud as I remember as a kid and on other ones that I've had, but pretty cool. The roller just shoots and goes. And then we take some of the missiles off here, and these will go right into this as such. And those were once spring loaded, and it doesn't act as if they're spring loaded on this one. So I guess the spring loaded has went away with it as well, which is pretty cool. But I mean, you know what? For what it's worth, Optimus Prime, it is one of the greatest toys and one of the greatest characters ever. I love it. It's fantastic. Sad thing is that they're getting up there in price. This is a great, modest $70, I think, is what I paid for it. And it's going to look great on the shelf. I sadly still am down here of hanging the shelves and everything else. But I mean, man, what a cool upgrade, I think, for your G1 Optimus Prime. It's got the same feel, got the same look, but it's brand new out of the plastic and everything else. Hope you all enjoy this. Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, 40 years old. Can't believe it. This Optimus Prime. Till next time. Peace out, home skillets.